Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are going to give it a few seconds here, and as individuals continue to join, and we'll get going momentarily. Shout out to, I see New Jersey's joined us. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers on the phone. Boston, Massachusetts, Illinois. A lot of good things happening in Chicago. Portland, Oregon, Florida, Louisiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Congrats on the College World Series. Bernardino, California, South Carolina, Arkansas, Ontario, NYC, Ontario, California, Canada? Yes. Texas, Philly, born in Philly, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Gary, Indiana, Nashville, North Carolina, Indiana. I think the Bears are coming your way. That might be a touchy subject in Illinois. North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Ghana. All right. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Ghana. Yes. So good I had to say it twice. All right. I think we're going to get going here, Marie. Okay, everyone. Welcome, welcome. My name is Dave Johnson. I will be your moderator today. As you put questions in the chat, I will read those off. I'm an attorney by heart and trade, but do not hold that against me. I'm a father of two young men. Also a part-time moderator for Birthing the Magic. It's a privilege and honor. Let me introduce you all to Gabrielle Albert. Gabrielle Gabby is the executive director for 4Kira4Moms, where she leads national efforts to eliminate preventable maternal mortality through advocacy, education, strategic partnerships, and community engagement. Gabby has more than 20 years as an executive leader, building a career that has driven organizational growth and innovation across global companies, including likes of Procter and Gamble, Kellogg's, Bacardi, Hilton, and Kimberly-Clark. So a wide array. Her expertise spans strategic sourcing, marketing, sales, research and development, and cross-functional leadership in industries ranging across all of those. So the great thing is that Gabby was inspired by her experience at Harvard Business School for Social Entrepreneurs, where she transitioned from corporate leadership to full-time nonprofit service. After serving as vice chair and secretary of 4Kira4Moms board and later as interim executive director, she was appointed executive director, where she now advances the organization's mission to improve maternal health outcomes and to educate fathers and partners in supporting maternal health. Here's the thing, is that she's been through this 5-year program. Sorry, she went through a 5-year program at FAMU, School of Business and Industry. She is based in Atlanta. Shout out to Georgia. Avid traveler, been in more than 50 countries. Thank you, Gabby, for being here, and we look forward to this powerful presentation.
Thank you so much, David and Marie, for having me today. I am going to share my screen and we are going to start. And so I know, please put questions in the chat. David, we already talked already. You have the opportunity if you'd like to interrupt me because we've got a lot of information, but the questions are also extremely important. So we can do it both ways. And let's see, we should be, there we go. So I'm excited tonight to talk to everybody. As mentioned, I'm Gabby Albert. And so for some of you who know, some of you don't, 4Kira4Moms, we were founded in honor of Kira Dixon Johnson, the wife of Charles Johnson, who lost her life 10 years ago at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles in what was a very much so preventable death. After the successful birth and planned C-section of Langston, their second son, Charles noticed blood in the catheter, and he called for the nurse, and they called for a CT scan stat. And 1 hour went by, 2 hours, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours went by before they actually did anything other than give her IV fluids. And so when they took her back into surgery and they opened her up, she had 3 liters of blood and she coded on the table. And what Charles thought was a fluke accident, what he soon realized, what we and Kira was a victim of maternal mortality, and that the United States was in the midst of its own maternal crisis. And so he vowed, although there's nothing he can ever do to bring Kira back, that no family should have to deal with what he's dealt with and face that tragedy. So he's dedicated his life from turning pain into power and to not just improving maternal health, but to eradicating maternal mortality in the United States. Charles and I like to joke, we are trying to put ourselves out of a job, and we mean that, so that by the time his boys and our kids in the next village of generation don't have to deal with what we dealt with. And so our vision is educate, advocate, legislate, and it really is to make sure that maternal mortality is eradicated. More importantly, that maternal mortality and maternal health is viewed as a fundamental human right, not just a women's right. And so this is our small but mighty team. Charles, we have Dr. Garcia, who's our director of programs and grants, and Ken Francisco, our marketing assistant. And so all of you here today, especially because of Birth and the Magic, you're aware of the statistics, but specifically the fact that Black women in the United States are dying 3 to 4 more times more likely. 84% of these deaths are preventable. And when dads are involved in pregnancy, mothers are 1.5 times more likely to receive prenatal care in the first trimester, as well as some other stats regarding dads. And that's how we got into 4Kira4Dads. Based on Charles's unique position as a maternal health advocate and activist, as a man, as well as his lived experience, we decided that while we do work on legislate and trying to break a system and the fundamental issues we have in the healthcare system, that what could we do uniquely within maternal health to make an instant difference? And we support doulas, we support midwives, and we support obviously making sure that our healthcare providers get more and more education and implicit bias. But we said, what could we do today? And that 84% of deaths is preventable. We are living in a time in which men's voices are louder than women. And so we said, why don't we use that in the affirmative? Specifically because there's a campaign from the CDC called Hear Her. It's telling us women are not being listened to, but we know men are. Men make up the majority of Congress. They make up the majority of corporations and the C-suite. So what if we leverage that and have them speak in the affirmative and also improve women's outcome, and the fact that, why do we always say that a woman should be advocating for herself. Birth is the most painful thing we can do as humans, except for being burned alive. And we expect women to not only advocate for themselves, but to do it in an articulate and a respectful manner. And we said, no, we should be making sure that they have advocates. And instead of relying on patient advocates, why not leverage the village we have around us? And that starts with the man. And so we came up with 4Kira4Dads. And our theory of change is that when you create this third pillar, because everything in maternal health has always been focused on the mother and the baby, as it should be. But when you add that father, it's a trilogy, it's a triad. It provides a powerful force that we know can truly help to eradicate maternal mortality. So we created 4Kira4Dads. Time for paternal education as well as their well being so that fathers can be in service and advocate for mother and child, that they can take their rightful place as fathers in service of mothers to be that protector and provider in the room for their partners. And so, some additional stats, right? When fathers are involved, the cesarean section goes down. We know that 38% reduction in low 5-minute APGAR scores can be improved. Preterm birth can be improved. Postpartum depression is in the double digits, almost 20% reduction. And all of this will help to reduce those preventable deaths. And so, the program, 4Kira4Dads, it was developed based on the unique needs of Black women, specifically how Black men and women are faced with in our healthcare systems, but it can be used for anybody. Our belief at 4Kira4Moms that if you solve for the worst, in this case, Black women, you solve for everybody. And the tools that we've created can be used anywhere for everybody, specifically in rural areas, because it is an app and a website that is free and for everybody. But it also helps men navigate everything about birth, from preconception and family planning all the way to the postpartum, as well as what we consider overtime. And we use the locker rooms. It is the in app and in person theme. It's a carefully crafted curriculum and approach for men using the sports and locker room theme. Why? Because the sports and locker room theme, everybody's equalized. If you ever played sports before, when you walk into that locker room, you could be the water boy, you could be the quarterback, but when the coach is teaching you and everybody gets in trouble, everybody gets in trouble. Everybody participates. It's an equalizer. But more importantly, it talks about the teamwork and understanding the power of voices, understanding the power of expertise. So coaches are there to help. It also helps that we make this something that we continuously participate in. Because, Dad, when you finish with your partner, you can then come back and be an expert coach for the next generation. You can help other men normalize and expect to be a part of the birthing experience. And so it was designed for dads by both dads and partners to equip fathers to improve maternal health. So before we do that. So, it's too fast. But this is Dad's It's Time to Get in the Game. And so I'm going to play our little feature that kind of gets a trailer to get you guys engaged with 4Kira4Dads.
Gabby, should this have sound?
Yes. Oh, you guys can't hear it?
No.
Okay. I know what happened. Give me 2 seconds. The share did not go through with sound. So I will unshare. Sorry, guys. All right, stop share. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. No, it doesn't want to look. Not technical difficulties. Okay. All right, here we go.
It's stuck on that one screen.
It is. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's try it one more time.
Okay.
Here. You don't?
So what is your role in this pregnancy?
You can see the video?
We can't see the video, but the sound was phenomenal that time.
Okay, but you can't see the video now.
No.
All right, let's do this one more time and
All
hope
right.
that it's not optimized for video.
And no. All right.
All right, let's see.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything there?
Yes.
So what is your role in this pregnancy? Think of pregnancy as a football game where your partner is the running back, carrying the ball, the baby, toward the end zone. During her 9-month run, she will face a myriad of stressors such as navigating medical information, disinformation, and financial concerns, while dealing with fatigue, extreme discomfort, and hormonal fluctuations. She can't stop, take a break, or call for a timeout. So it's up to you, her fullback, to run interference. You can protect her from unnecessary hits and clear the way so she can focus on what matters most, a healthy pregnancy. By stepping up to block stress, tackle challenges, and provide support, you're helping her stay strong and confident as she makes her way to the ultimate touchdown, a safe and joyful delivery.
We got through it. Sorry about that all. And so the intent here, and you heard, is really to make sure that men recognize their role and what they can do. And so the program pillars for 4Kira4Dads is 3. One, it's awareness and training and it's playbooks. So giving them the practical tools that they can participate in the entire 9 months plus the postpartum. Making sure that we change that narrative that men are just there for, they are an integral part of the birthing experience. It's not just money, they play a role. We talk about everything that they can do from a physical standpoint, and most importantly, supporting that partner. We then got to make sure that men also have healing networks. We can't have our dads stroking out. We don't want our dads suffering from PMADs. We want them to be healthy so that they can lead their families. But in today's day and age, where do they go? Talk about their concerns and fears when it comes to pregnancy. And I know many of you are doulas, so you get a chance to talk to these men. You know, the barbershops in the Black community, they're not yet equipped to talk about pregnancy. And so that's where the locker rooms come in, a place that they can talk to about anything, whether it's, hey, we've had a miscarriage, we've had a stillborn. I know someone in Charles's situation, or I just saw a movie. I saw Serena Williams' documentary. Where do they go with these concerns? And where do they go to talk to like-minded men who want to talk about it and actually have resources and solutions? So that's the healing networks. And then agency and advocacy, making sure that they not only have the tools, but they can role play those tools, they can get experience, and they can get the confidence needed to take agency and advocacy for their partner on that day and in the postpartum, and then to come back into our network and help us with advocacy to make sure that maternal health is a fundamental human right. Because if we can get men standing up and demanding that this 84% is preventable and it's ridiculous, we're going to see some changes. But the fact is, most people just don't know, and then they don't know what to do about it. And so 4Kira4Dads, make sure that they learn it all. They have the tools from awareness, educate, practicality, and then ultimately, obviously, advocacy tools. And so the curriculum modules, right? In speaking with the sports theme, warm-ups is family planning and preconception. Quarter one is first trimester. Quarter two is second trimester. And we still make sure to teach them conception to 12 weeks, 28 to 40 weeks. We know that the fourth trimester and postpartum is often overlooked, so we have a whole quarter dedicated to this. But then we also take it home and make sure overtime so that fatherhood continues from 3 months to 2 years and up, right? So these are the resources that will keep them being engaged in fatherhood and helping. And the key features as part of the program is expert-led modules, so pregnancy and health, labor preparation, and newborn care. We engage with interactive content, and they have questions. We have an AI feature called Hey Coach. It's an expertly trained AI chat so that men can get the good information, not go to Reddit where they might get somebody who says, put some bleach in your baby's bottle. No, instead, these are curated resources with trusted partners that we know have the right resources and information that can help with these playbooks and tools. So when we talk about some of the curriculum, right? Warm up family planning and preconception. So getting prenatal care, relationship dynamics between mother and father. This app is for all men, regardless of their situation, whether you're married, whether you're in a great relationship, whether you are in a committed relationship, it doesn't matter. But we definitely talk about those dynamics. It doesn't matter. You guys have to come together as a team. And this is where we really believe that if we get this right in the planning stages, and you can get partners to work together through those 9 months and understand their roles, we know that in things like domestic violence, intimate partner violence, all of those things will decrease because they both understand the importance and they actually understand what mom and baby are going through the entire pregnancy and postpartum. We talk about exercise and pregnancy and nutrition, family planning. So, and health insurance. What are the legalities of things? When we bring this session to life, we bring in lawyers so they can talk about health directives and wills, and in certain states where legitimization is required. How do you understand insurance and getting people to understand, that we all need insurance, especially as soon as you're planning to have children, you need to have insurance, because one of the things people don't realize, the life-changing event, it's not pregnancy, it's birth. So if you are a woman and expecting or wanting to have pregnancy, you need to start to think about what plans you want ahead of time. Because if you get pregnant, all your prenatal expenses are going to come out of pocket. The importance of both parents at healthcare appointments and communication. So dad, even if you can't make an appointment, how do you make sure at least one question is provided? How do you establish a 3-way discussion with your healthcare providers? And so we give example tasks. These are the playbooks. How do you choose an OBGYN? These are the questions, specifically with Black and Brown. How do you ask your provider, hey, are you aware of the Black maternal mortality crisis? Because you may not get a provider that looks like you. And even if you do, you still want to understand what they're doing in this crisis. Understanding pregnancy and exercise, understanding health insurance. These are the interactive exercises. And so then first quarter, your first trimester. This is 12 weeks when you find out those 0 to 3 months. So what are your milestones and vocabulary? Understanding what genetic testing is. What's the 20-week anatomy scan? Specifically making sure that dads can not only go to the appointment, but they understand what's being said. Do you simply understand what the support structure, and like we say, who's going to be your squad? What's the difference between an OBGYN, a doula, a midwife? How do you have all three? How do you just have two? What's the self-care and supporting of moms from the very beginning? Sex and pregnancy, we know this is something that men sometimes are like, can I touch her? Of course you can, and you should. So let's talk about it. The pregnancy and vaccines, urgent maternal warning signs, making sure that dad understands these and the seriousness of them from day one. Making sure that they have nutrition and exercise, and how do they ask questions and push back? Who are the sources of support during pregnancy? So identifying these in the very beginning, right? Who's your village and squad? Someone, who's going to be that person at the hospital advocating with you? Do you know lawyers? Do you know somebody on the board of directors at the hospital that you're possibly going to give birth in? Who's on backup? If someone travels in the family, if dad travels, who is your third, your second, your third, your fourth string to make sure that mom can get to the hospital safely? Preempting everything. What we like to say is we're going to teach for the worst so you can expect the best. Careful conversations, aware of the urgent maternal warning signs. Second quarter and second trimester, now we're going to talk about the pregnancy-related complications. So from preeclampsia to miscarriage, stillbirth. What are the complications of part 2? So this is where we really get into blood pressure, since 35% of maternal mortality is cardiovascular related. Making sure that men not only understand that you can't use any blood pressure cuff, but how do you take the blood pressure? How do you understand a baseline? And how do you ask those questions and tell somebody that, hey, my partner has a 150 or 160, but they sit at a 90 or 100. That means a 50 to 60 points is extremely dangerous. It's not the same as just having elevated blood pressure. Pregnancy communication plan with your partner and your providers. So the birth plan is talked about within this app multiple times, because we want you to talk about it in the beginning for everything you want. Then as you learn more about your body, what are the things that are changing? And then let's also talk about what you've learned towards the end and what could happen. What happens when the birth plan may have to be thrown out? So example, these, and again, fetal movement tracking, right? So Count the Kicks, we got the information from them. You can link right from the app directly to them because they're the experts. This is what we said. We curated everything here with partners. So we're not recreating the wheel. We're simply putting it in the sports and the language. It's also at a 6th grade reading level to make sure that it's fully comprehensible by anybody. How do you enroll and communicate with your village? What's the narrative for your pregnancy plan? Understanding comfort measures. In 3rd trimester, so let's talk about delivery. What can you expect day of? What's the hospital? Do you know the plans you're going through? Let's create the birth plan, the backup birth plan. Do you know the importance of a patient's bill of rights and that you should have that printed and in your bag and have an extra copy so you can tape up on the thing. So if anybody goes wrong at the hospital, they know, oh, they're informed about who you can call. Do you know the escalation plan if something doesn't go properly? Let's start talking about baby safety. So safe sleeping guidelines and swaddling, baby proofing the home, first aid, CPR, breastfeeding and baby nutrition, making sure you understand the benefits, why it's important. How do you support dad getting up with the baby? What can you do? What are the available resources if mom's milk isn't coming in? All the breastfeeding education. And now we're going to start to talk about planning for postpartum recovery. One of the things that are taught within this tool, as well as in our in-the-room sessions, is the importance, and dad gets to own, really, the postpartum. Where's your meal train? Do you establish the rule that nobody comes in this house if they're not helping you all? Don't just come to see a cute baby. You're going to change the baby. You're going to wash dishes. You're going to wash baby clothes. You're going to bring food. You're going to give us a nap. These are all things that a dad can easily organize, and it will really change the trajectory. And again, they have the example task. So it's not just an app that is going to give you information. It's going to retest it in quizzes and different forms to make sure that dad actually retains it. And then he actually has these toolkits that he can bring up at any point in time. Postpartum, the signs of postpartum depression, the stages of postpartum, making sure a dad understands the difference between the physical and the mental, specifically that any woman who gives birth in the postpartum has a plate, has a hole the size of a 9-inch plate that has to heal. So dispelling these myths that, oh, she's just got an attitude. No, She literally just had her body opened up, whether she gave birth naturally or with a C-section, when even adds worse. We teach everything. And then the stages of postpartum, the delayed up till 6 months. So you're still not out the clear. Coming home is you got to come home. But then what do you continuously look for? Because we know that the postpartum deaths are also, extreme. Depression in men and men's health. How can this help you? The importance of swaddling, skin to skin, swaddling, all of these different things. And do you know the signs of postpartum depression? Can you point them out, and do you know what to do? And then over time, we kind of say like this is the 3 months to 2 years old. So baby milestones, feeding in solids, leveraging help and parent self-care. Self-care is one of these things that we talk about all the time. And so one of the example tasks is it takes a village. Writing down who your village is to help, who's your advisors, your self-care. The people in your life who don't have kids, they can be there for a lot of things. Oh, you need to go to the doctor. You need someone to talk to the doctor on your behalf. I just spoke to a partner today, and they were saying that they suffered from postpartum. And she remembers literally calling for a doctor, but no therapist that was given to her on her insurance list could take new appointments. And then she had to sit on the phone for an hour with insurance to simply got to get an override to see somebody at a network. Give that to your village. These are things that a lot of people have to go through, but if you think about it, you can really prepare for all these things. So
welcome to the 4Kira4Dads app, the first free pregnancy app.
So this is so as I mentioned, it's a website and the app. And so the website is fully up and running. Mm-hmm.
If we can take a minute there. First of all,
4Kira4Dads app.
Yes.
Everybody feel free to put your questions in the chat.
Welcome to the 4Kira4Dads app.
Before we get to the app. So as I understand it, right, is that first of all, and I think I saw it on the website, knowledge is power. And we have all heard that, right? So you're providing the knowledge, the education, the information. We can, and I think you might be going into this, we can try to consume it all at once, or we can consume it in phases through the birth period so that we can make sure as partners, as fathers, and whether it's a grandparent that's in there, that we put ourselves in the necessary position to be eyes, ears, and voices, advocates, right? To be able to support.
Yes, exactly. And so it's set up in each of those modules. The only thing you have to do is we'll call get your equipment, which is complete the registration when you get into the app. So that gives us more information from research and tracking. But after that, you can literally go to any module. So if a dad finds this at quarter 3, he can just go in at quarter 3, but then he can backtrack and go all the way to warm-ups. Once you complete the modules, there's opportunities for you to save some of the playbooks so you have your answers. You can also go back through them all. And then we'll talk about also how we bring this to life in person in locker rooms. So you can take this curriculum, and that's where with doulas, we have the opportunity to partner with you all to create locker rooms so you can bring together men in group settings. And this is what's great about this is a tool for anybody. You mentioned dad figures, advocate, non-birthing. It's anybody can use it. We specifically focus on fathers because of our unique experience, but it's great for anybody. Truth be told, in the locker room sessions we've had, the moms come forward and say, well, where is this for us? And we're like, there's a million apps and trainings. It's just not the locker room, but they're welcome to come and partner. But that's literally how we made it. So it is that usable for everybody. Ready? All right.
The first free. Welcome to the 4Kira4Dads app, the first free pregnancy app designed specifically for expecting fathers. Built around the strategy and excitement of football, 4Kira4Dads helps you prepare for every stage of pregnancy, birth, and fatherhood, one play at a time. Getting started is easy. Download the 4Kira4Dads app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Create your account, sign in, and get ready to enter the locker room. Once you're in, you'll see your entire fatherhood journey laid out like a football season. Warm-ups to overtime, our curriculum is designed to guide you through every quarter of pregnancy and beyond. Whether you're preparing for the first trimester, delivery day, or postpartum support, we've got your back. Start by answering a few quick questions about your journey. We'll help you personalize your experience and equip you with the right tools, resources, and playbooks for the road ahead. Run every play with confidence. Access expert-backed lessons, videos, resources, and quizzes designed to help you become an informed, engaged, and supportive partner throughout pregnancy and fatherhood. Every lesson completed gets you one step closer to becoming the dad your family needs. In warm-ups, you'll get information on family planning and preconception. All the information you need on getting prenatal care, how to get healthy, your physical fitness, health insurance, and budgeting for baby. In quarter one, we cover the first trimester, the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. Here you'll get information on early complications and warning signs, and information to have in mind as you think about vaccine recommendations and testing. In quarter two, we cover the second trimester. Learn about how baby is developing and also the changes that mom is experiencing during pregnancy. We also have information here about maternal mental health and how to facilitate better communication between you and your partner during pregnancy. Quarter three is all about the third trimester. You're in the home stretch now. Here's where we talk about how to prepare for delivery day, how to baby-proof your home and get ready to bring baby home, tips on breastfeeding and nutrition, as well as information on advanced directives, will, and estate planning. Quarter four is about the postpartum period, which we like to call the fourth quarter. Learn about the recovery for mom and baby after delivery, urgent warning signs to look out for, as well as practical information about naming your baby, insurance, and vaccination. Also,
Uh-oh. Get it out.
I get glitched.
Man, this hotel Wi-Fi is not working today.
It is a good opportunity for me to ask you a question as you work through it,
Yes.
though. So we got a great question with regard to, is there a plan to train doulas and childbirth educators to train dads on this?
We are open and willing to partner with everyone. And so part of this call today, what we'll offer is with the Birthing Magic Collective in the fall, we are going to do a virtual session. So you can invite anybody there. If you want to specifically be trained, we can work with you directly on the models and modules to be able to do that. And so I know we don't have a lot of time, so I am going to quickly go through the rest of the presentation so we can go out full for all, just to show you guys the in-person locker rooms. And so these are some of our partners, whether they're sponsors or actually people that are within the app with us. These are, so locker room sessions, again, we bring these to life. In 2025, we did 7 sessions across the country. This past spring, we did our first hospital cohort with Emory Midtown. We'll be doing one in the future. And so we did 8 sessions, and each of these sessions can stand alone. You could pick one that you just specifically like, or we take basically the 4 or the 6 quarters and then break them down into kind of 8 sessions. We've had over 50 dads participate in person. So one is like, it's game time. This is advocating for your partner. So this is where we mentioned, we bring a financial advisor in, we have someone from insurance, we have someone from health insurance, from the courts. Calm Under Pressure, we partner with the American Heart Association. Handling your business, this is financially preparing for baby. So we have a budget expert in there and making sure you know about all the financial things. Post-game prep, here's where we're going to do CPR. We're going to bring back doulas to make sure that you understand postpartum doulas and what you can do at home. So we take everything that's in the app and then bring it to life with experts. And this is some of the things that we can work with any community anywhere to create for them. So we can consult with you to create your own locker room. You can also work with us to sponsor us to fly in and to actually set up a locker room in your city. And so,
I just want to say this. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Todd Granted. 27 years old. My first time to be a dad.
Here are some testimonials from guys who actually participated in the locker room. So I'll just play one of them, and then I'll make sure that also this we can send, if anybody wants the presentation, we can send to them too. Uh-oh. Okay, this computer just does not like me today, guys. I'm sorry.
Well,
Okay.
I just want to say this. Oh, I'm sorry.
My son is 2 months old, and I'm very grateful to come into this conference today because there's some things I did not know. I didn't know that there were empowering men to support their significant others or their wives when they're going through this process, because my wife went through a severe complication, and navigating through the system is very difficult. And now that I'm looking back at it, had I known that there were services here to kind of get you ready ahead of time, we would kind of have even more of a game plan, because even though we had a birthing plan, we had all these things still went wrong. So I wish I would have known that these services are here today. I did learn a lot from, because I'm having difficulty with my son getting on the bottle, and they gave me some helpful information that I'm going to apply today. So I just want to say thank you again.
All right. And so this was our Emory sessions. And so you can see we had different.
All right. We just finished up
And
last
I'm going to
week.
go through this because I know we're from a time perspective. But then this also just shows the advantages of doing it in person. You get access to trusted experts. So like with the hospital, we had the Emory OB there at the same time. We have evidence. We have some reports that we can share to show from a pre and post knowledge check what increased on a 1.7 on a 5-point scale, and what they felt that they could understood about pregnancy, preeclampsia, signs of stroke. Same thing when we did game time and understanding, it was a 0.69 on a 5-point scale. At Emory Hospital, 4 out of 5 rated across all sessions. 100% said they'd come back for 10 future sessions. 100% said they're already applying it as learned skills. So stronger availability to advocate during healthcare, greater awareness. And then what they said, right? So advocacy and awareness, the patient confidence, peer community, because one thing is they got to talk at every session. You have that dad's huddle, so you get the questions and the answers. And then we bring it to Dad in Action. We also have something with the dad games where we can bring games together where the men play, or like diaper skills. We put them in baby bumps with medicine balls. But it really brings dads together, and you can be a veteran, you can be a new, but it celebrates fatherhood. And we can do this at graduations and other events just in the city. This is also Dads in Action, where we've got Dads Something to Say. We are on Capitol Hill demanding dads for maternal health. We also have a Love for Dads summit. And so we'll make sure to send these videos because we don't have all the time. But the value of 4Kira4Dads, in-person locker rooms, again, the partner benefits, you're partnering, your trusted community, better postpartum readiness. And so for this one is for you, right? This is for all dads aspiring, but non-birthing partners, OBGYNs, midwives, doulas, nurses, physician assistants, community navigators, home visitors. This curriculum is free. You can download it today. You can get all your partners to download. And then, like we said, we can work with you on training you more through it. How do we get locker rooms to your cities? And so this is the ways in which that you can partner with us. So you can download the app for free, the App Store, Google Play. You can also simply just www.4Kira4Dads on your website. We've got the fall 2026 virtual cohort that we will take these locker room sessions with experts and bring to life. We're going to do that anywhere across the country. You can partner with us. So you can sign up and let us know if you want that training, if you want to bring locker rooms, you can partner with us. If you'd like to donate, any of those things are available to work with us. And then we also will have an Emory cohort here in the Atlanta area. So Metro Atlanta will actually be doing a combination of in-person and virtual in the fall as well.
So Gabby, excellent presentation. I've had, if you can dive a little deeper on train the trainer, because there's been 3 questions on how do I get trained so that I can deliver this to a group of dads and make them aware and the like. And you mentioned a cohort, but can you go into that a little more?
Yes. So we are going to partner with the Birthing Magic Collective. And so that's actually going to be the locker room. So you can invite your dads there. You don't have to train the train. Okay. So if you want to be a train the trainer, please reach out to us to partner, and we would work with you to customize the training, understand who the dads in your community are. But in the meantime, you can literally just have your dad sign up. You can review the app with them. You can go through, you can assign them homework. So when we really think about the doula community, right? What I like to tell everybody is if we are to reimagine maternal health for the best thing possible, every family would get 2 doulas. You get one for mom and one for dad. In today's day and age, we're still fighting to just get doulas and doulas reimbursed. And as a doula, we know you are looking at the family, but about 75% of that time, you're going to be focused on mom. So what you can do is you can assign 4Kira4Dads for all your dads and say, Dad, I need you to take this, download it, go through Q1, and we can sit down and talk about those questions. And you can easily use that as a tool today. If you really want to get fully trained in it, like you said, you can partner with us and we can talk more and more to give you that train the trainer model. But 4Kira4Moms, everything we do is truly for the benefit of maternal health. We want this to be synonymous with Lamaze, which is why we made it free. We want this to be offered in every doctor's office. As soon as somebody says we're pregnant, Mom, do you have this app? Sign up for Lamaze, sign these classes, come to baby training, all the things that are already offered. Dad, download 4Kira4Dads. And within 4Kira4Dads, there are also chat rooms available. So the things we can do from a train the trainer, we can set you up with your own like chat group. So you would have just your dad, so you could collectively man those questions from them. And you know, again, if you've got partners or healthcare systems, we can customize trainings and do different things. 4Kira4Dads is relatively new. We started this January of last year. We released Q1. And we released Q4 in December of 2025, December 31st. Everything was fully released on Father's Day. So the entire curriculums. So please take the app, test it, give us your feedback. Let us know more or little of what you want to have. The AI feature, break it. We want you to put stuff in there and come back and tell us, hey, it didn't have answers to this question. We can feed it in at any time. If you know that there are great resources that we can dump into, you know, the brain for the AI, we want to do all those things. But this really is meant to be a community resource because we know that if dads understand half of this information, they can truly make a difference.
That's great. And I think what you're saying is feedback's a gift, deliver it, we will unpack it, and then we will get better. I think you definitely addressed the training the trainer. Somebody said this, what about those that want to do in-person cohorts? How do I get a hospital near me?
Yes. So again, hit the partner with 4Kira4Dads. And when you drop down, you can say, I want to bring a locker room to my city. Then we can sit down and talk about who is in your city. Can you guys get us in? We can do presentations on your behalf. You know, unfortunately, we are a nonprofit, so there's dollars. Can you get us a sponsor? We work with you on what those costs would look like for either teach you, like we can, like I said, we can set it up where, hey, we are consulting with you from a virtual standpoint, telling you everything you need to set up the locker room yourself, that kind of train the trainer, or you can fly us in and we can come and do a series of workshops on your behalf. We could train somebody in that city so that they're always there. There's a lot of different ways, but that is exactly what we're open to and wanting this. Long term, we hope that we can set up 4Kira4Dad centers in every city. But again, that donate. So if you know sponsors, if you've got donations yourself, please provide them because we're like every other nonprofit in which we're doing this because we want to make a change, but we don't have everything funded yet.
So I think a short way of answering that is your email's on there. Ask and we'll see what we can do. Right? We're trying to make
we'll do. And
go ahead.
Exactly, and we will partner. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then so somebody asked, I know we're going to send out the video presentation. I think somebody asked if the program is virtual, is there a potential to host a viewing for your dads and then facilitate a live Q&A session for them afterwards? So train the trainers doing their thing, and then they want a Q&A and would like to hear from an expert like yourself or somebody on the team.
Yep. Again, the partner. When we say we customize everything, we customize everything. So we could work with you. And again, that's why we're really excited. And Marie came to us because doulas, a lot of the doulas or just community, if you've got fatherhood programs, these are tools for everybody. And so we haven't created it yet, but we're also, if you are a provider, we can come into your clinics, we can come into and train because this is also designed. And as we add extra modules, we can add timeouts, we can add, different videos, things like that. We recognize that one of the things is it's also going to help train dads to be better patients, right? So if you can teach a dad, hey, how to ask a better question, how to use the My Charts and the virtual tools we have with our providers, right? A provider only has 20 to 30 minutes. So
Right.
talking with the provider in a city and saying, what are the most asked questions? We can do modules on those most asked questions because you can, hey, dad, view this first and then ask me if you have any specific questions or know what information to come into your provider's office with. Bring your baseline on your blood pressure. What are your vitals? Let's talk about those. And then if we have time, we can talk about the football game, right? Like, how do we change so it really is meant as a tool for everybody across the spectrum? Because we also have to then teach our providers how do you make sure that dads are in the equation. But it equalizes everybody, and everybody can literally use the app.
That is powerful. And I think part of this is that we're using this as as a additional jump to get the word out, to show people how to connect, to say, I think we're only limited by our own ideas, right? And so it's like, we've got this out there. Let's talk about what is possible. And it comes from more than just the 4Kira4Dads team. It's coming from the community. It's coming from our doulas, our dads, our partners. And let's see what will work best to be able to get the knowledge, information out there to position these partners appropriately to support these moms.
Exactly.
All right. Anybody else got any other questions? I feel like we've answered them. There's been great engagement through the chat. I see also Marie from Birthing the Magic Collaborative has been responding, but anything else that you all might have, please put in the chat. Gabby, is there anything that we didn't ask that is often asked that you'd like to answer, or anything that's come to mind as our discussion that you want to make sure that we leave on that note?
Yeah, no, I mean, one, sign up today, right? Because the tool is fully functional. Please, as you did mention, feedback is a gift. We really do want to get this out and to add as much. If you got ideas, but we really do want this to be a tool that doulas. So, if there are specific questions coming from this that you need to go home and ponder, send them my way because we can follow up and do a more type of train the trainer and how do you use the tools and go more in depth about them. So that is definitely key. And we really want, like, where are the dads? That's our question back to you all. If you've got dads, so you